Boom, we're back, and this time we have a new blue belt on the channel. His name is Michael, and he's going up against BBC. Michael is actually one of my favorite guys to roll with because he's always game to roll, even if he's a newer blue belt. You guys also get to watch some more Yeski, and that's always welcome on my channel, so get ready to see some sweaty backs from Chris and a lot of grip breaking from both of them. Blue belt Chris is starting off by using his left hand to grab the lapel. By having this type of control over Michael, he can keep him at bay or decide to pull him in. He switches lapels with that hand, he's pulling him into the high guard. The high guard allows him to get his leg over the shoulder and he can start looking for omoplatas or other attacks. Chris decides that instead of the omoplata, he's going to start to move the hand out of the way so he can transition towards the armbar. Now Chris going for this armbar looks a bit strange. Notice how far his butt is away from Michael's head. By not having his butt near the head, he doesn't have full control over Michael. However, he must be extremely strong because he's able to pull on the arm and get the tap anyway. So that's a great first submission for Chris, and it happened really quick, so what more could you ask for in a jiu-jitsu video? As they restart and they go into the second part of this round, Michael's looking for an extended guard. Because Michael wants the guard extended, Chris decides he wants to stand up. This way he doesn't have to worry about fighting off triangles, arm bars, etc. Michael's actually doing a great job controlling the sleeves, but he messes up by going for the foot for a second. This allows Chris to pass the guard by going for a big lat drop, and the lat drop is a wonderful pass because you can put your entire back on their face. Having that much weight against their face is going to make it really difficult for them to stop your pass if they want to look for a bridge or other attempt. Chris is doing something a little bit difficult to see, but he has some solid lapel pressure going on with his right hand. As he controls the lapel, he's also shoving his forearm into the throat. Anytime you can do this, you're threatening a choke and you're also waiting for them to move. Michael's going to extend his arm to try and release some pressure, but by doing this, he's giving another armbar to Chris. Michael is able to keep his arms together for a little bit, but then Chris decides he wants to go belly down. Once he goes belly down, that's all it takes, and he gets another armbar finish from Michael. Since we just saw two submissions, let's do the question of the day. And my question is, what do you not like about jiu-jitsu? This is an easy question, but it'll have very different answers. Let me know in the comments below what you don't like about jiu-jitsu, and I'll try and give you a response on what I think about it. Also, while you're down there, feel free to press a like on the video, it'll really help me out. BBC was able to grab an underhook with his left arm, and he's working up towards the deep waist. When he has this deep waist, he can easily scoot out towards his knees and enter the dogfight position. From the dogfight, Michael has to make sure he has a strong whizzer with his right arm, and clearly it's not strong enough because Chris is able to go behind him to finish the sweep, and now he lands on top of Michael in side control. Clearly BBC is quite the animal to be able to pull off that sweep with such little hesitation. The music might be really relaxing to listen to, but Michael has to be the complete opposite of relaxed. From this position, he has to be extremely urgent and it's time to escape. He's already seen what Chris can do to him by submitting him twice in such a short amount of time, so it's time to enter bath salts mode or get submitted once again. I'm hoping that Michael's going to get going because he looks extremely calm on bottom here. But we can't take anything away from BBC because he has some pretty strong top control at this time. He's doing a nice job using his right arm to control the hips of Michael, so anytime he tries to escape, he can put pressure down with his right arm to keep him in place. Chris is also transitioning between positions. The more that he can transition between side control, north-south, and even threatening mount, the harder it's going to be for Michael to escape. Unfortunately for Michael, BBC is now looking for a KIMURA attack. But the nice thing for Michael is that as Chris goes for this KIMURA, he's able to roll him backwards and get his own sweep. The unfortunate part, however, is that Chris still has control over the KIMURA. Once he has the KIMURA locked up, he wants to get his hips out. Then he can start going towards his knees and he's trying to sweep him over with the KIMURA to try and take the back. Chris is doing it all wrong by trying to use the far hook first instead of the near side hook, but eventually he uses the near side hook first and then it works out and he maintains back control over Michael. He even switches off the KIMURA and he goes right into the rear naked choke to get another submission. If you're looking for a way to contact me or just talk to me in general, maybe you have questions, feel free to give me a follow on Instagram. I also post very infrequently, but when I do, it might make you laugh, so it could be very worth your time to give me a follow. Chris is feeling extremely good because he already has 3 submissions over Michael. And remember, this was his last day rolling at our gym, so he wants to try and get as many finishes in a short amount of time that he can. Now what I'd like to see from Michael in the future is a little bit more guard retention. Chris easily smashes his guard and passes right into side control, and we already saw how powerful he is in this position. Some easy ways to improve your guard retention are to keep your elbows and knees in. If you can have your knees by your chest, it's already the first step in making it much harder to pass your guard. If you can start with your knees by your chest, you know your opponent has to reach towards your knees to try and pass your guard. Then you can grab their sleeve and set up your own fancy guard, whether it be worm guard, 7 guard, etc. Michael has his head trapped in a peculiar position, but he really just has to try and go on his belly. Then he can work towards Turtle. Unfortunately, he's underneath Chris, who's also a wrestler, so Chris knows exactly what to do when somebody's going towards the Turtle and they want to put themselves in the front head. BBC is putting a lot of pressure on Michael, so it's hard for him to escape, and he's even trying to lock up an Anaconda. Hopefully this isn't going to be submission 4, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to go for this finish because Michael is sitting on his side. By staying on his side, this is turning this more into a crank instead of a choke. So as long as your neck can hold up and you're not going to break anything, you are fighting off the choke for a little bit. Chris decides to go to mount instead of go for the choke, and then this brings us to the end of the round. If you appreciate this video or you just like jiu-jitsu and other martial arts in general, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, thanking all my current patrons and viewers, I appreciate all of you. But before you go, if you want to look extremely stylish doing jiu-jitsu or other sports, then make sure to check out xmartial.com from my link in the description below, so you can get awesome gear like I have, and you can use promotion code Tyler10 to save extra money.